Well, good evening. I'm using my iPhone, so forgive me for the lack of quality. I use my iPhone all the time. I don't know why I said that, but I'm holding it in an obscure way to get a different format. And I'm going to spend longer than 3 minutes this evening, so I figured I'll use this format, this setting. So basically, I said that I would share my stack and some of the supplements that I'll be using as part of a longevity program. Now, I'm not doing longevity for the sake of anti-aging. I'm not doing it for trying to look young. I actually don't mind the bristle. I don't really care. And I think I respect people more for actually just being themselves. And I'm not going to wash my hair with funny stuff. A lot of these gurus out there saying this and that about their age and their longevity and their bone density and their penile erection, and give me a break, you know? I mean, we've still got to be human beings at our age. We're at our age for a reason. We're lucky to be here. So I'm very grateful to be nearly 50, and I'm very grateful that I'm in pretty good tact for that. But at the same time, I have to take responsibility for this temple and also for my family. So I'm doing this for the kids. But I was going to share with you tonight my stack. And basically what I put together is a combination of things for morning. So basically just morning. So getting started for the day. And this is like post-workout for me. So I have been doing a little bit of a fast 30-minute resistance style training and try to walk as much as I can during the day. So this one here is basically morning, mid-morning, and my nighttime, which is just for sleep and recovery. So I don't really eat, well, I try not to eat after 12 o'clock. Today I did. We had my daughter's birthday party. And today was sort of the end of a few old habits that I'm going to shake out completely. So the diet is one of those things. I'll be sharing that with you in the future as well. So if you're a nearly 50-year-old man, this might help you too. So I'm going to show you what I'm using and why. I'm going to switch the camera and point it towards the products and tell you my why for each one of those things. And it's just based on some simple research. I don't have doctors and lawyers and people procuring new products for me. This is based on research of probably about 2 years. And I guess I probably should give you a bit of a backpedal. So for the last 3 years, I've been on and off with what they call the lion diet. And I found that particularly brutal on my body. A lot of people say it's great. I don't agree. I had cramps. I had stomach problems. It was terrible. And I do believe that over time it actually probably did me more harm than good. And I'm not going to be one of these people that say that the gurus are wrong. I'm just saying for me, that was a big no-go. And I ended up pretty much going back to a predominantly vegan diet. And at the moment, I've decided I might mix it up a little and just be around the vegetarian diet. I just prefer that lighter-based diet for protein because I feel better physically. So anyway, I'll walk you through some of these supplements and give you my why. Slowly, we have Centrum Advance, which is a multivitamin. Basically, I chose this one because they do have high standards and it's an affordable product. So I wanted to be able to do this from, any basic chemist or pharmacist, whatever you want to call. I didn't go to a health food shop and pay $50 million. I paid very basic prices for these. If you were interested in a price list, make sure you comment price list. And I'll attach a price list somewhere. I'm not sure where. I might have to do a link. So, vitamin K2 and D3, taurine, 500 mg, wild fish oil, odorless for my omegas. I usually use a plant-based omega, which is quite expensive. And this is more of an experiment in my adjustment phase to see, with all of these supplements, which ones give me the best performance. So I was recommended this one particularly, and for various reasons, DHA and all those sorts of things. Going to give it a whirl. Not sure if I'm going to enjoy it, but I'll give it a whirl. So this is basically my morning stack. And there's a reason for all that, and I'll go through it shortly. Bit of olive oil, creatine, peptides, and 2 islands, which is a new thing I've used. This is pea protein. I usually don't do protein shakes. I usually do a probiotic protein shake, which is only about 15 grams with a company that's called Juice Plus. This is a new one for me. It's been metals tested. It's a very high quality product, very clean. No sugar, no sweeteners either. So I take these 4 supplements here, sort of mid-morning-ish, whether it's just to top up protein, recovery for training, and the olive oil really for gut and fats. Zinc I take midday with a little bit of food, usually my lunch or my last meal. And nighttime, turmeric, ashwagandha, and magnesium glycinate. I don't take any other magnesium. So that's the stack, and I'll go through them individually. Okay, so taurine has about 8 to 9 top benefits. I'm going to just list the basics right now, but at a later date, each of these supplements I will go through in greater detail. So basically I'm taking taurine for heart, brain, metabolism, and cellular aging. So this goes into a deeper factor. It's actually great for hydration and recovery as well, cardiovascular recovery, all sorts of things. There's quite a few studies on taurine, and I'm probably going to take up to 1,000 mg a day. At the moment I'm only doing the 500 in the morning, but I've got a feeling I'm going to end up taking it at night after reading more on the benefits of taurine. Okay, vitamin K and D3. I've read quite a few studies around the two together, but also D and K vitamins separately, because there's K1, 2 and 3, and obviously vitamin D1, 2 and 3. So there's a lot of speculation, and there's also a lot of studies. So speculation comes from, I guess, a lot of these podcasters that you and I listen to, but also the research is varied. I'm still in the middle with using this. I'm going to use it as an experiment, because the bottom line is, together they build bone, protect your arteries, and support long-term health. And that's health against aging. Like I said, I'm not an anti-ager, but aging forward, I want to do my best for my body. And this is one of those products that seems to be getting results with a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, especially cardiovascularly. A lot of athletes use it for bone density and heart and blood health. So, but like I said, with each of these vitamins or minerals or products, supplements I guess I'll call them, I am going to go into great detail with each and every one of them. At the moment, I'm in the preliminary stages of the actual product. Some I've bought based on reviews, price, and quality and cleanliness of the product, and metals. Okay, this is actually a wild card for me, and something that I am trying that is new. So normally I would be taking groups of different vitamins if I was going to do this, like your B1, your B6, your B12, all those sorts of things, iron, and I would take them separately, but really you should be eating with these foods in mind. So I'm just basically using this as a baseline, I guess it fills the gaps, and try to eat accordingly. But I do believe there's benefit in multivitamins. I just wouldn't rely on this solely. So it's not something that I anticipate using all the time. I may actually switch out again and go to separate B vitamins instead with iron. It just depends on how my diet facilitates and blood work and things like that. Otherwise, I'll continue to use it as a baseline, but I also may try different products, because Centrum is a budget brand, but it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Okay, a lot of people have started talking a lot about olive oil and high quality olive oils, organic, where it's grown, metals tested, la-di-da. This one's the best one that I could find that's accessible in New Zealand. I'm in New Plymouth, New Zealand. Anyway, So this product, as you can see, it's made here in Hawke's Bay. So cool. I like locally made. I try to do that with anything that I'm doing as far as buying products or things or anything really, services. I'd rather be local and shop in a store where I am. This was at Woolies, so it's not a local store, but it's a locally grown olive orchard. And so there's a lot of studies at the moment with olive oil particularly, but the reason I'm using olive oil personally is that on the Lion diet and even on my organic diet over the years, being pre-vegan, I was eating a lot of butter and fats that were animal products, like tallow and things like that. I did use olive oil from time to time, but more for pastas and salads. It wasn't really a beneficial product at that time, or the thought wasn't in mind anyway. But now I'm probably going to lay off things like butter for the time being, and even animal products other than what you see in that fish oil there. I'm not going to be buying beef or anything like that for the time being, or chicken, or I don't really eat chicken anyway, but for a while there I was eating a lot of beef. As you can imagine, the Lion diet is very beef, but at the moment I'm going to pretty much stay plant-based with everything that I eat or ingest. And the olive oil is to sort of swap out for fats. But here's some, this is some factual stuff on the product. It's just quick. So anti-inflammatory, it's heart protective, and it's brain supportive. It's also longevity proven. So there's quite a few studies on different cultures and people that have done the studies. And so I thought that was worth researching further. So you'll probably find that I do a bit of deeper dive on olive oil. And at the end of the day, this is all going to be adjusted. So what works for me, you know. But I do think that's worth following a program and a discipline to reach optimal health personally. So if you're on that road, I'm happy for you to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to share everything that I do as far as research, and I'm happy to actually hear, you know, research of others if people want to share their own journey with me. So, you know, there's a community around this stuff. And like I said, this is the future-proof path for me. And it's all about creating a life where I have freedom, health, longevity, financial freedom, physical freedom, and, you know, just choice basically. So, and one of those things that we have to incorporate in that discipline is our health. So I will be sharing this as well as all of the other things that I do in regards to crypto, in regards to business, and also family, religion, all those sorts of things. And this is a big thing for me because I've always, you know, followed strategies for health. Okay, here's a famous one, the old creatine monohydrate. This is from Faction Labs, and I've never used this brand before, but I have used a lot of creatine in the past when training or doing weights particularly. I used to do weights in my late 30s, but also in my teens. I used to use this product a fair bit. But there is so much research around creatine. This is a very affordable brand. I basically chose it for that reason. If I don't enjoy it, I may swap it out, but if it continues to be a good product, I will keep using it. And I basically bought all of these products in the same store, and there was a bit of a method to the madness. It was really just to say, hey, at your local pharmacist, you can pretty much pick up your anti-aging longevity program pack. You don't need to go out and spend, you know, $700 and something US on some vitamins that are really just luxury products and, you know, in my eyes, overhyped. Sometimes you got to choose your hard, and I think a lot of the time people go, this is my product and rah rah rah, and we've chosen it for this, we've done this research and we've done this, we've done all these studies, and they've basically said we've made all these choices for you. At the end of the day, there's a lot of, you know, food products out there that have been on the market for decades, and you've got to give credibility for things like that. And who are really the masters in the arena? So newcomers, you know, they can keep studying as far as I'm concerned. At the moment, I'm building a stack that is affordable and anyone can do it. This complete stack, if you want to know, actually cost me 311 NZ dollars, so that'd be about 260 Aussie and probably about 200 bucks US, probably less than that US to be honest, because pharmaceuticals are a dime a dozen. Anyway, the products are what they are, and I did this on a budget so that anyone can achieve a basic longevity stack that I can send them as a shopping list. Yeah, I'm not going to ask for any money. I'll send you a PDF for free. But yeah, that's my creatine product. Anyway, why do we take creatine? There's so much research, like I said, and it's basically the most studied product, I think, out of all supplements on the market. And it's not just studied, it's the safest and the highest return supplement. Basically, cellular energy, what else are they talking about? Muscle strength and recovery. They also say it's beneficial to your brain and neurotransmission now, better brain performance, yeah. So things like that are obviously physical energy. I find that if I take this product an hour before I work out, I can lift a lot more and a lot heavier, more reps and more weight. That's just me personally. That was the experience over the years when I used it, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I also got a bit of a pump with it, and whether that's a temporary thing or not, I don't know. But at the time, it made me feel physically strong. Could have been a bit of a bit of hype in there for me too. No real need to say why I bought protein. Protein is great for recovery, and I'm trying to eat 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilo a day. So this is really just a bit of a, a 2 o'clock finishing off. Or if I am going to work out, I'll probably have the shake then. And this is the cleanest one that I could find in the pharmacist. And when I actually did a bit of research on the brand, it turns out they've done quite a lot of testing on this product, and there's no sugar, so that's a pretty good thing. Probably the cleanest product I found in the Chemist Warehouse in New Plymouth. So, yeah, great product. Okay, so collagen. There's a lot of research around collagen these days as well, and a lot of people will say collagen 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. I think 2 only comes from chickens from memory. So this is a bovine collagen. I didn't really buy it for, all the anti-aging protocols that are out there, peptides and stuff. I actually bought it really just for recovery, for tendons, nerves, muscle, bone, joints. The delivery of collagen or more collagen to those areas is good for you. Our body actually produces the more of the collagen that we have. And really your diet, the food that you eat should be creating that collagen. So this is really just a quick recovery thing for me. It's not really about skin or elasticity or whether I've got wrinkles or not. I'm really just going to use that for joints, muscle, tendon and recovery. I'll probably take it 1 to 2 times a day depending on my training and depending on my timetable. But I'll usually take that, like I said, with the protein, creatine, and somewhere in the mix, if I'm eating or not, olive oil. So, yeah, 2 serves of that olive oil a day. Zinc. This was actually a hard one to find, but it is fairly clean. And, that's my part of the 15 milligrams a day that I'm taking. I'm really taking it for, the bottom line for that really is immunity, testosterone, skin healing, and brain function. Man, it's got so many other super benefits. But you've got to be careful not to overdose with zinc as well. Like I said, I'm going to go into great detail on each of these supplements, one by one, and do a video on each. But zinc is such a strong component of a health stack. You should always have zinc in your diet, whether you're taking it with your food, like eggs and things like that, or shellfish, or make zinc a big part of your diet. And but like I said, don't take too much. And sometimes I will even cycle off zinc just to be careful. I don't take it. I'll take it for say 3 months, or sometimes I'll only take it for 3 weeks and say, you know what, I've probably had enough in my actual diet. I'll I'll ease off on the zinc. But it's an amazing immune support as well. So yeah, there's so many benefits: skin health, wound healing, all sorts of things. It's a great supplement, and it's a great thing to have in your food diet. Okay, turmeric. Basically, I take turmeric as an anti-inflammatory, an antioxidant, and a brain-heart support. So there are a lot of other integrative parts of that. This is a product that I am going to give a deep dive on. I haven't used this product before as far as brand, but I used to actually buy turmeric as a root and crush it myself organically. It's actually getting harder to find, so I'm just buying this as a supplement. This one was recommended by a friend, and it was pretty easy to find at the pharmacist. So it's quite affordable too. Most of these products are under 30 or 40 bucks, even under 20, some of them. So I've done this at a pretty reasonable rate. The most expensive ones were things like the olive oil, the protein, what else was there that was expensive? I can't remember. The taurine, collagen peptides. Yeah. Pretty affordable products. But yeah, this is a good anti-inflammatory. It's going to be a bit of an experiment ride because I have some skepticism about turmeric, and I guess taking it as part of the ride, and I'm doing the research as I do the ride. So I'll give some more isolated ideas about it as I use it and keep reading on some of the outcomes for people. So, ashwagandha, another product that you read so much about, and this one was recommended as part of the sleep stack, which I was surprised. I used to take magnesium glycinate with glycine and what was the other thing? It was another amino, glycine and inositol. It was a good sleep stack. I may actually digress back to that, or regress, I think I'm getting my wording wrong, doesn't matter. But it's another product that helps lower cortisol, increase, testosterone, will improve your sleep recovery, all those sorts of things. So ashwagandha along with zinc and things like that, they all will help with testosterone, hormone balancing. So I take this with magnesium for those benefits of calming before bed and just balancing the system. Like I said, I may go back to the other two aminos, the glycine and the inositol with magnesium stuff. So I'm taking the turmeric with it, and that goes with the magnesium, obviously, for a nighttime start. So these are apparently for anti-inflammatory, hormone support, better sleep quality. That's why I take those three together at the moment. This is an experiment. Like I said, I may go back to the magnesium, glycine and inositol. Magnesium glycinate. So it's actually quite hard to find here. I think I found about 2 or 3 brands with glycinate. This has been recommended to me over many years. It's sort of like magnesium's probably been one of my go-tos for at least 20 years. Even when I'm not training or doing anything physical, just to help with sleep and supporting my calm. It's stress reducing, sleep enhancing, and energy supporting, really. There's scientific benefits and there's scientific research on using magnesium glycinate for sleep and recovery, all sorts of things. But it's not an option. I take it every night and have done for quite a long time. I actually get anxiety if I don't take it or if I run out. But like I said, with each of these products, I'm going to do a deep dive on every one of them. And there's something I might even add to this stack that I'm researching. So things like NR, NMN for NAD support, and also other types of peptides that are oral, not necessarily, I'm not going to do any injectables. And I'm not going to go and do TRT or anything like that. You're not going to see me do crazy stuff that really is beyond most people's budget, This is all really about staying affordable, and really this whole stack is, if you're taking these products, these supplements, along with a really good diet, a clean diet, a no processed foods diet, you're ahead of 90% of people. That's not a joke. No one that I know sups like this, that I know personally, other than my personal trainer on the Gold Coast. I don't know about his food, but I know his supplements. I don't know how many supplements he takes. I'm rattling. But anyway, if you're taking this stack, morning, midday and evening, you are ahead of 90% of the population. And you are going to improve the quality of your recovery, your sleep, and possibly your physical health. Like I said, you would have to be eating clean. I don't care if you're vegan, meat eater, omnivorous, pescatarian, vegetarian. If you're eating clean and non-processed foods and taking this stack, you're like 1 percentile. Yeah. So if you want any information on the brands, if you're in New Zealand particularly, I can send you the shopping list and the prices. And like I said, I'll be adding other products possibly. Still thinking about, even things like resveratrol. I've been reading about that as a product, and I might even add that to this stack. I'm not totally sure yet, but I'm going to just isolate this to the routine that I'm using. And, like this morning, most mornings I'll be trying to wake at 4:30, 4 o'clock, because I do have to start early most days. And, 30 minutes of hard training. I'll go through that routine with you at some point. But, sometime during this week, if I do another video, it'll probably be back to business. I'm just sharing this because it's something that I've been documenting pretty heavily as I go. And really, I'll be documenting results from this point on. So I hope you've enjoyed the information. Like I said, I'll do a deep dive on each of these products over time. May not be very close together, but yeah, I'm still isolating which brands I want to use and reading about the testing of each product and the integrity of each product, and obviously the actual nutrient density and quality. So sometimes cheap isn't good. Sometimes cheap's great. Sometimes it's better to be somewhere in the middle. And sometimes it's just worth spending the bucks and getting something that's really good. The benefits that you achieve are far better than the price you've paid. So that was my stack. Hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if the editing turns out to be a bit boring. I'm pretty new to YouTube and doing things like that. I used to do YouTube years ago, but it was to do with music, and it wasn't really any editing involved. It was really just recording songs. So I'll be editing this, and you'll have to see what that looks like, and I probably won't do it again, so it may not be that pleasant. Anyway, if you do want more details on that stack, those products, if you want the price list, I can send it to you. And like I said, all of the things that I've put there, I'll be putting together in greater detail one by one, and showing other things about my workouts and all those sorts of things. I'll be showing food plans and diet and tracking the progress as I go. I think like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that is just BS. I've been watching different influencers on YouTube over the years for lots of different reasons. So I have sold supplements over the years and different products online, and I've worked alongside of people in fitness industries, well, influencers as well, in different industries, and there's a lot of BS out there. A lot of people are just doing stuff for likes and, to get a video following. For me, this was really about demonstrating that you can do this without the hype. You can do this without spending thousands of dollars on products. And you can do this with just a bit of pragmatic approach and some logic and reason, just be practical with your own lifestyle. You don't have to do crazy disciplines about getting at the same time in the morning, going to bed at the same time at night. Because a lot of reality is that we're not millionaires. We're all working 9 to 5. We don't have time for these protocols. We've got families, we've got fridges to fill for everybody else. We've got to get up at different times of the day if we're shift workers. We've got different financial responsibilities. Some of us are running second and third jobs now in this crisis of fuel and inflation in most nations now. So I just wanted to put something together that would work for everybody, mostly me. It's pretty selfish, but and have a bit of fun with it along the way, documenting it. So this whole channel is really going to be reviews, having a bit of fun, and hopefully showing people how to make some money, how to look after themselves, how to pray, how to read, how to do some crypto, how to buy it, how to sell it. There's a lot of things we're going to be doing together. Like and subscribe. It's going to be fun.